There's also Hoverboard Hustle, which should be a racing challenge, right? Yes. Although, that reminds me, one thing that I have not covered yet is something I may as well cover right now. On top of figures for Disney Infinity, there were also what were called power discs.
I gotta say, this place has a lot of potential.
Sure does, Syndrome. But anyways, there were also power discs that you could buy. Although the starter pack came with one, it was just a random one from the first wave of power discs they released. They released them in 3 waves, and they came in 2 different types. Well, really, there's more than that, but 2 like major types: circular power discs and hexagonal power discs. Circular power discs would be placed below the figure that you're playing as, and can be used all across the game. I may as well show some off right now. For example, I may as well place one below Syndrome. And we got an achievement for it. Power Up. Place 1 power disc on the Disney Infinity base. Cool. So apparently we got an achievement just for placing a power disc. Cool game. And there we go. We got the Pieces of 8 power disc, which gives us a chance for bonus economy. So anytime that we're given any like sparks or coins in wherever, there's a chance that we'd be given bonus economy as well. So that's pretty cool. So yeah, the circular power discs pretty much give your character little stat boosts to where they could boost different attributes such as their strength, their health, and well, actually, there's 4 types of circular power discs. There's health-based ones, shield-based ones, damage-based ones, and economy-based ones, like the one I just placed down. There's ones that will have a chance of granting you full health right before you die, so that you pretty much get, like, I guess an extra set of health. There's also damage power discs, where pretty much there is a chance that certain attacks that you deal will do extra damage to enemies. And there's also shield-based ones, where pretty much there's a chance that sometimes if you get hit by an enemy, there will be a little shield that will protect you from being damaged.
Awesome. Pass through every checkpoint or your win won't count.
And I believe there are, I forget how many circular power discs there are in total. I'm trying to think. Because each wave has at least one of the different like classes or types that I talked about: health, damage, shield, and economy. Wave 1 has 1 of the 4 different classes. Wave 2, I believe, has 5, with there being 2 damage-based ones. And Wave 3, I think, also just has 4.
That's what I'm talking about.
And not only that, there are also some special power discs that in North America were exclusively sold at Toys R Us.
Almost there.
And I believe out of those, there's at least 1 for each class, plus a couple others.
You did it. You're looking for a challenge, huh? Challenge.
Alright, time for hard difficulty.
You'll have to pass through all the checkpoints in order.
Speaking of, I may as well go back to talking about one of the journal entries that I talked about how about the exact day that I got Syndrome. Because it was one talking about, oh, what did you do over the weekend? Well, I already talked about that. Oh, it was the day that I got Syndrome for this game. I even wrote down stuff about how I went into the Minecraft aisle and played around with an Enderman plush. Yeah, I told you I was really into Minecraft. I wouldn't be surprised if I watched a lot of those like Minecraft like comedy animations or whatever. I did. I watched a lot of those. Like I said, I watched all sorts of different Minecraft content. Whether it be mod showcases or like random maps that people would do. Like I remember one called the Dropper, where we would pretty much drop down different courses and try not to die from fall damage and try to reach the bottom. Yeah, pretty interesting stuff. And yes, if you're wondering, I did watch Minecraft song parodies, or like listen to Minecraft song parodies. Like, you think I forgot about the Tayo Cruz's Dynamite parody TNT? No, I didn't. We all remember that one. That's Mr. Incredible's challenge right there. What other ones have I not done? Actually, I think I know. I believe there's one you could do with the Incredicopter. May as well go ahead and get that. There might actually also be some glide pack challenges as well. Yep. Here it is.
You ready for this?
Blast from above.
Next time. Awesome.
Use the Incredicopter to defeat all the enemies before time runs out.
Here we go. Destroy the enemies. The time to beat.
Alright, 2.5 minutes to destroy 13 enemies.
Great. Fantastic.
So, yeah, pretty simple. There might be some not airborne, but higher up enemies as well. Maybe later on. Although we'll have to see if the difficulties... They'll probably increase the enemy count.
You win.
Not sure why the power disc was flickering there. Did you guys see that? Huh. Maybe it's just an issue with the UI.
Here we go.
I hope there isn't anything wrong with the power disc.
Here's the goal.
That would be bad.
Watch the clock.
Let's see. Now that makes me think of another topic. Have I ever gotten any... Oh, by the way, yeah. It gives you a little indicator of when the power disc's ability will come into effect. With a little sound effect, along with kind of a power disc symbol showing up below your character. So yeah, as you saw right there, we got some extra sparks and coins. So pretty cool. It might help us level up our character, and it sure did! Syndrome is now at level 6.
Ready for a real test? Challenge initiated.
Alright.
Here's your objective.
34 enemies. Considering how powerful these missiles are, this might not be too hard.
Looking great.
Yeah, look at that.
Awesome.
I've already taken care of 6. Trying to think, have I ever gotten any defect? I was about to say about if I've gotten any like NFCs, because because of the, you know, that's the name of the little chips inside the Toys to Life figures and discs and all that stuff. NFC chips, or near field communication. That's how all the magic happens of the little USB base being able to scan the figures and recognizing what character or whatever they are. I have gotten defective NFC chips for other Toys to Life games, such as Lego Dimensions, where I think there was one time I got a defective NFC chip to where the base would not scan it, not be able to scan it. There were a couple times where, like, an entire batch of produced figures for Lego Dimensions actually were all defective. I believe when the character Marceline the Vampire Queen from Adventure Time was released for the game, the initial batches of packs were defective, and her little toy tag, that's the name of the actual like NFC piece of the Lego figure, because you would actually assemble the characters, because, you know, they use actual Lego pieces, but the part that the toy pad actually scans would not work correctly. Alright, anyways, here's the next challenge. Go Fight Win. A combat challenge. Defeat the enemies before time runs out. Might actually give me the opportunity to show off another power disc here in a bit. But yeah, I believe there actually might have been another character that had a defective toy tag for Lego Dimensions. I think it was the character Bane from DC Comics was added to Lego Dimensions. I remember a friend got the character, and his Bane toy tag did not work. It was, I believe, a defective one. Thankfully for Disney Infinity, I have never experienced any sort of defectiveness for any of the NFCs. They seem to have had pretty good quality control in that they all work just fine. Sure, some of them work better than others, but, like, I didn't have any that just did not work at all. So, you know, that's good. Any bad experiences that I had with this game mainly would have to do with the Wii version of Disney Infinity in general, and not any of the actual figures themselves, or power discs, or whatever. Makes me curious to reading these stories of if there were any, like, defective Skylanders NFC, or, like, any defective Skylanders figures. Because I never really played Skylanders back when it was relevant. I have a lot of friends that played it, but I was not one of them.
Here's the time limit.
Okay, whatever that was. Right. Okay, so I think it's just all around one general area. Okay, thank goodness, because I did not want to have to run around into some sort of wild goose chase just to track down enemies. You know how much I hate that. So back onto that journal entry I was talking about, another thing I wrote within it was the fact that, oh, that next day, Sunday, after the Toys R Us trip. I would go to my grandparents' house and play Super Smash Bros. Melee, because that was another game I was really into, funnily enough, around this time. It was a little before, but this is the time where I would play a ton of the Super Smash Bros. Games. I might have talked about it in my playthrough of Super Smash Bros. For Nintendo 64. But yeah, Smash Bros. Melee and Smash Bros. Brawl were games I played a ton of around 2012 and 2013. And yeah, in that entry I did talk about unlocking all of the characters in the game that weekend. Which is funny because I actually had to unlock everything for that game twice. Now that's a story I'll get into another time.
Back for more?
No. But thank you for asking. Looks like there's another challenge over there.
So, are you up for a challenge?
Power Punch.
Great.
Use the glide pack or hoverboard to defeat all the enemies before time runs out. That reminds me. Yes, well, go ahead. Check out another power disc. Bolt Super Strength. Chance for bonus damage. An overpowering strength. Chance for bonus sparks from enemy defeats. There are certain combinations of circular power disc that'll give you extra boosts on top of the 2 stat boosts that they'll give you on their own. Which is pretty cool, because you could place up to 2 circular power discs under your character.
Challenge initiated. Destroy the enemies. Here's the time limit. Well, I wouldn't say I'm one step ahead of the supers. I'd say it's more like miles. Brilliant.
Nope. I did not mean to do that. Although we're probably going to need the hoverboard anyway.
Great.
Okay.
Fantastic. Great. One more. That's what I'm talking about.
Okay, that's interesting that they just explode automatically after reaching a certain height. There we go. Up for the challenge. Got a gold star. Complete 10 challenges in the Incredibles playset.
How about it? You ready? Here we go. Here's the goal. Watch the clock. The National Supers Agency needs somebody like me. I could make them invincible.
I might switch characters here in a bit. Hearing all these, oh yeah, there's all the sparks that we can get from that combination I was talking about. I think I was about to say the fact that it's kind of interesting that Disney Infinity was really the only Toys to Life series that really experimented with the idea of stacking NFC chips on top of one another. It's kind of interesting that, you know, Lego Dimensions didn't really do anything about that, and what the? Okay, anyways. And I don't think Skylanders really did anything about it, unless you count Swap Force, but I don't know if that really counts. Which is funny, because Swap Force came out the same year as this game.
Great. Looking great.
But, yeah, not only can you stack circular power discs, but you can also stack the other kind of power disc in this game, hexagonal power disc,
Great.
or hexagonal power discs, which can only be used in the toy box mode, and can add more toys to your world, and can also add like textures and stuff, and can customize your world as well,
The clock.
which is pretty cool. But yeah, you can stack up to 3 of those onto the hexagonal port of the Disney Infinity base.
Looking great.
Uh-oh. Great. Whatever, that didn't affect us too much. Okay. It is kind of interesting that a lot of Syndrome's lines are just direct quotes from the movie. From the movie The Incredibles, like that one right there. In fact, a lot of lines across the Disney Infinity games are just direct quotes from that character from their sources, which I find a little interesting. I guess because they have to write so many lines for these characters that they may as well just reuse some from their original source materials.
Hey, don't feel bad. I'm a total mastermind.
Alright, just 2 more enemies. In later Disney Infinity games, they would actually add other types of circular power discs, including like team-up power discs, where you can summon another character to assist you in combat. And there's also even costume power discs, where if you place it under a specific figure, it'll give them an alternate costume. For example, there's one for Mr. Incredible, to where if you place it under Mr. Incredible specifically, it'll change his outfit into his Glory Days outfit seen in the movie. It's pretty cool. There is one in the docks, and it's a car challenge. Quick ride. Alright, we can use the sports car for this one. Pass through all the challenge gates before time runs out. Alrighty.
Pass through every checkpoint or your win won't count. Fantastic.
Let's see, what other topics could I talk about? I guess I could talk about something that has, I guess, more to do with The Incredibles than the actual Disney Infinity game itself. Although it still has to do with Disney Infinity, because around the time this game came out was kind of when I went through a little Pixar resurgence, to where I started especially growing interest in the company. I still, you know, had interest in them before and would watch all their movies. Even before this point, I would still try to, you know, catch as many Pixar movies as I could in theaters. I mean, heck, I saw Cars 2 and Brave in theaters, you know? Arguably their weakest films.
Pass through every checkpoint or your
But
win won't
I was a kid. You think I knew any better? Whatever. Anyways, yeah, because of stuff like this, along with other stuff, it might just have to be the fact that I would watch so many Disney Infinity videos, and that it would affect my YouTube recommended feed. Because I would get a lot more Pixar-related videos. This was the era where I started watching a lot of videos that would kind of analyze Pixar movies and all of the like Easter eggs that would be found in them, because this was when I realized that there would be a lot of, you know, Easter eggs and inside jokes across Pixar movies, such as, you know, all of them containing the Pizza Planet truck from Toy Story, along with the Cal Arts classroom number A113, and stuff like that. Along with some of the movies having, like, you know, references to other Pixar films, like, for instance, shoot, I'm trying to think of one that doesn't have to do with something I'll get into later. Oh, I know, the fact that in Finding Nemo, in the, you know, the dentist's office, there's a little toy chest in the waiting room and within it has a little Buzz Lightyear action figure, so that's pretty cool. But another thing I was going to talk about is the fact that a lot of Pixar movies would also have, you know, little references that would foreshadow future Pixar movies. I think Monsters Inc. was the first to do this. Because at the end of the movie, when Sully is handing Boo, you know, the kid in Monsters Inc., a bunch of different toys, such as like a Jessie doll, and I think like there's a teddy bear in there or something. Another one is a little Nemo toy of the character from Finding Nemo, which would come out after Monsters Inc. So that's pretty interesting. Yeah, I would watch a lot of those videos. Let's see, I think it might be time to change characters as I get into the character-specific challenges, such as Mr. Incredible's Glide Pack Challenge. Only Mr. Incredible can start this challenge, where if we press X, we play their little preview video. Again, I find it weird that the starter pack characters have these, despite them, you know, coming with the game, so there's no need to advertise them, because if you already have this game, you 99% of the chance already have these characters. Whatever. May as well switch to him. Uh-oh. Oh wait, this thing protects me. This little kiosk over here. Yeah. But not only am I going to play as Mr. Incredible, I'm going to be playing as the special character, Crystal Mr. Incredible.
Want a challenge?
As we tackle Mr. Incredible's Glide Pack Challenge.
Fantastic.
Gather as many collectibles as you can before your time runs out.
Here we go. Here's the goal.
Alright, so this is another collector challenge where you collect orbs, but this time you use the glide pack to navigate to other buildings.
Looking great.
So Crystal Mr. Incredible was one of the many special figures that would be store exclusives across different regions. In North America, they were exclusive to Toys R Us, along with a bunch of Power Disc packs that would contain exclusive Power Discs. Like I said, would only be available in certain stores.
Awesome. That's what I'm talking about.
Now, there are actually a couple unique things about these characters, other than just being, you know, texture swaps of pre-existing characters. You know, they have the exact same moveset, exact same voice lines, all that stuff. I think one of the few differences of them is the fact that
Here's your objective.
they kind of have little experience bonuses to where they will level up faster than normal characters. So that's kind of cool.
Fantastic. Brilliant.
And also, I'm pretty sure the only reason that they're like crystal in this case is just so they could reuse the material that they used for the clear playset pieces that you place on the base. Because I'm pretty sure it's the exact same kind of clear
Talking about?
between both. Of course, Skylanders would also do a lot of these kind of special variants of pre-existing characters. However,
Fantastic.
in Disney Infinity, all of them would actually, you know, appear differently in-game. Unlike Skylanders, to where sometimes they would have like special holiday-themed characters, which would not appear differently in-game, but rather just the figure looks different. For example, I think there was a Halloween-themed Eyebrawl character and an Easter-themed Trigger Happy figure. That's like not even in the same figure pose as other ones. I don't think, at least. Like, they have a completely different, like, figure mold and pose.
That's what I'm talking about.
Again, I think. I'm not too familiar with Skylanders, but I know that those, specifically those two that I mentioned, were figures that a friend of mine had, because they were really big into Skylanders around this time. But they were also really into Disney Infinity. So, yeah. I believe these are the last orbs that we need. Yep.
Almost done.
With 16 seconds to spare.
Great finish.
And there we go. I believe, what level are we at? Well, it says level 0. What the? Interesting, that's a little glitched. That's weird. What if I put the figure off and back on? Oh, well that worked. Okay, now it shows that it's at level 2. Interesting. Whatever. Alright, we're done with Mr. Incredible's challenge. We may as well go ahead and cover, yeah. Or at least I'll try to find Mrs. Incredible's challenge. Oh, actually, never mind. There's another challenge over here. Bring the punch. Defeat the enemies before time runs out. So another one of these challenges to where you just had to destroy enemies. 5 enemies in under 2 minutes. Let's do it. Although, never mind, we can't access our tools and packs during these challenges. That's unfortunate. Because I was going to use the 0-point energy. Maybe I should switch back to Syndrome. I don't know. Although, judging by how well I'm doing, I might not need to.
Great. One more.
Just like that. Well, at least it, you know, gives us
You win.
more opportunities to level up Crystal Mr. Incredible.
Great. Challenge initiated. Here's the goal. Here's the time limit.
What's interesting is that in the other kind of versions of Disney Infinity, such as the Wii version along with the 3DS version, they'll actually appear, these crystal characters will actually appear a little differently. By the way, we leveled up again. As I'm saying, they'll actually appear a little more different in the Wii version, rather than just having this simple little crystal texture. They'll actually be the crystal parts will actually be semi-transparent, to where you could kind of see through the character. And in the 3DS version, rather than only parts of the characters being crystallized, the entire character is crystallized, which is kind of interesting.
You're going after me.
And I believe there were 8 crystal characters released. 1 for each of the different playsets, along with 2 more for the Toy Box only characters. Jeez, these range omnidroids are annoying. Especially since none of the characters in this playset really have ranged attacks aside from maybe Mrs. Incredible.
Almost there.
Get out of here. There we go. Boom.
You did it! Are you up for a real challenge?
Sure am.
Here's your objective.
I guess I could talk about the fact that Crystal Mr. Incredible was a figure that I actually did not have growing up. I did own all of the main figures for the first Disney Infinity, but I didn't own all the special characters because I guess I didn't care for them as much. Well, to be fair, you don't really unlock anything if you get all of the special characters on top of the normal characters. You do get an unlockable for owning all 29 of the main cast of characters. But like I said, not anything for the special characters. What's also interesting is that if you own just the special character and not its normal counterpart in the Hall of Heroes, it'll give you both a statue for the special version and the normal version of that character. So if you just own the crystal version of Mr. Incredible, you will get rewards for both the normal character, the normal Mr. Incredible statue, along with the crystal Mr. Incredible statue, which I find very interesting. That was the case for me because of Crystal Lightning McQueen, because for the longest time I did not own the Cars playset.
Well, I was going easy on you.
And we ran out of time. I wasn't even paying attention to the time. I think we had to defeat 15 enemies. I guess I just wasn't paying attention. Okay. But yeah, the crystal figures also had really weird release dates to where, like, I think they would all be released on separate release dates, not all at once. Also, that that respawn losses a lot of time. Like, I think Crystal Lightning McQueen was the only one of the crystal characters to come out at launch, which is why I remember seeing everyone have them. Because, like, oh, anyone who bought the game at Toys R Us probably also had the Crystal Lightning McQueen character. Including myself, although I didn't buy him at launch, but I think he was one of the first of the crystal characters that I bought. I wouldn't be surprised if he was also the best selling out of all of them because, like, you know, all the kids love Lightning McQueen. More so than, oh, I don't know, Jack Sparrow or the Lone Ranger. Or even Sully. Because those are some of the other crystal characters that they released. Alright. Uh-oh, 10 seconds. I'm not gonna make it! No!
I am bringing it next time.
Yikes!
I might have to do it. Although, it did say that I was defeated twice.
I gotta remember to pick up pizza for dinner.
What if? I used Fix-It Felix's repair power, a chance for bonus health. And still keep on Bolt Super Strength for bonus damage. And there is no combo ability that we get, unfortunately. I sure am.
Here's the goal. The time to beat.
It might not be a fair challenge, but it's still a challenge nonetheless. Okay, I just realized I forgot about the fact that each time you scan on a figure, I believe your quick swap items will actually reset. I think. Yeah. So I'm gonna have to redo all the quick swap for my tools and packs here in a bit. That is if I fail to do this challenge again, which, who knows, I might. Thankfully, Mr. Incredible's got super strength, which can help us out to where we could just grab these enemies and throw them. Because of the fact that enemies in this game have fall damage. Meaning that if you throw them from a great height, there is a good chance that they will take damage or even be defeated entirely. Uh-oh.
You're going after me.
Ugh. Really used to the fact that in later games, there would be something called mid-air recovery, to where if you get knocked off the ground, or if you get hit in midair, you can actually kind of recover and then jump back to safety. God, it's such a useful thing. I believe they wouldn't add it until the second game. There we go. Look at that. Power discs coming in handy. Well, too bad it took me forever to come down here and take care of that guy. Because now, we only have a couple seconds. Because I keep on freaking falling out these buildings. And it takes forever to get back up there. My God.
Good try.
No, it wasn't. It was the worst try yet. Never mind. The quick swap items are still there. It's just you can't select the items during this challenge. That's it. I'm going back to Syndrome. The 0 point energy is just too good.
Ready to bring it on. Challenge initiated. That's what I'm talking about.
Alright, doing pretty good. Oh, uh-oh. Almost hit my controller there. You're not given enough time for this! Oh my God! You're just not!
Awesome. Challenge.
No, it's not awesome!
Here's the goal. Here's the time to beat.
Thank goodness you don't have to do all of the challenges on all difficulties. You only have to do them on one. 2 minutes is not enough time to deal with these 15 enemies.
That's what I'm talking about.
Having multiple enemies hit each other is probably your best bet. Because dealing with all of them individually just takes too long.
Fantastic.
Right, there's another one.
Fantastic.
Alright, come over here, because I'm not going back to the ground just to climb back up. You kidding?
Great.
Alright, 5 more enemies. With 1 minute to spare, I can do this. Also, what doesn't help is that you can't throw enemies with a... Oh, there's a prize castle right there! Oh my God! That might be it. That might be the one I'm missing.
Almost done. Awesome.
Holy crap, I did it. That took way too long. Holy crap.
Finish.
At least we leveled up Syndrome again. My God, that took forever. Ugh. Yeah, I would not recommend doing that challenge on hard. That is just brutal. My God. Ugh. So yeah, unless you have Syndrome, yeah, I would not recommend that challenge on hard at all. But there's another prize capsule that apparently I missed. Scientist suit. Alright, not the one I expected, but hey, that's something. Still, pretty cool that we got another prize capsule that I missed. Anyways, let's go ahead and do, or at least try to find Elastigirl's challenge. It's over here, by the way.
Want a challenge?
Mrs. Incredible's Collector Challenge. Gather as many collectibles as you can before time runs out. Okay, so it's just another orb challenge.
Here's the time.
Got it. Nothing too notable. Just, oh, gotta jump to other buildings to grab some orbs. Nothing more than that, really.
That's what I'm talking about.
Well, it is a little weird how spread out the orbs are.
One more.
But whatever. Pretty simple.
You win. Fantastic. Collect this many. Here's the time to beat.
Is there anything more I could talk about with Mrs. Incredible? Even though, I know because of the toy box mode, we're gonna have to play as her again regardless, so I'll have probably have more to talk about her there, maybe.
Fantastic.
But, I don't really know. Ah, great.
Brilliant.
About, I don't remember if I got riled up or anything about, although I wouldn't be surprised if I did, about people, between people calling her Elastigirl and people calling her Mrs. Incredible. I think because of this game, I would always call her Mrs. Incredible
Here's the goal.
as a kid when playing this game, even though, you know, she wasn't really referred to that in the movie, but rather as just Elastigirl, or Helen, because most of the film has to do with stuff among the family, and most of the time Elastigirl is on screen is when Mr. Incredible is also on screen. Well, aside from, you know, select scenes, but still, there's not a lot of characters interact with Elastigirl outside of just Mr. Incredible and, you know, their family. Along with Syndrome, who calls her Elastigirl, which makes sense. Because, you know, like, Syndrome was a former fan of the Supers, so it makes sense that he would know about all of them. When he's shocked that Mr. Incredible, quote, married Elastigirl? If you've seen the movie, you know what I'm talking about. Also, I don't really have much time. And also, why can't I cling onto that? Thank you.
That's what I'm talking about.
No, it isn't. Seems like it just has a mind of its own. Like, only certain things Mrs. Incredible can cling on to. It's weird.
Fantastic.
It's not really clear what all she can and cannot latch onto. It's weird.
Great. Fantastic. Brilliant.
Yeah, like, it seems like that, seems like I can't really latch onto the
Fantastic.
wall, although certain parts of it I can, but there's I can't. I don't know. I don't know what's up with it. Go up here, and then travel.
Almost done.
No! Oh! I was right there! god, I had it!
I forgot how fun this is.
And then I just had to mispress one button, and it's all over.
Fantastic.
I am not giving up.
Objective. The time to beat. Great. Awesome.
Might be the wrong path, but I don't care.
That's what I'm talking about. Great. Fantastic.
Okay.
Brilliant. Fantastic.
Okay, okay. We're doing something here. This might be the one.
Great. One more.
Boom. There we go. Finally did it.
Great finish.
I believe, yep, we leveled up. Nice. Even though it still reads as level 4, this game can be weird sometimes. And even weirder is that I think the Xbox 360 version is the only one that really has this issue of not updating the level counter correctly. I never had the issue with the Wii. I never had that issue with the Wii U version, so not very sure. But for now, we may as well try to find Dash's challenge.